Hi, my name is Jeremy Brown, and I'm the lead guy at Journey Church in Jackson, Tennessee. I want to talk to you about something today that every one of us care about. In fact, I'd submit that none of us would be sitting in the chairs we're sitting in watching the videos we're watching unless we really cared about the issue of making disciples. But the question that has to be asked among church leaders today is, what are you looking for when it comes to making disciples? My thought is that there's not a lot of us that have a really functional and helpful definition of what it means to be a disciple. But yet people come into our ministry context every single week and walk up to us for whatever reason they say, whether it's physical, emotional, or spiritual, but they're unhappy with their life as it currently is. And they want to move closer in some relationship to God, even if they don't necessarily say it that way. The thing is that if we don't know how to clearly point them to take a series of next steps on their journey towards Jesus, then we're really going to struggle in the long run to help them really find an answer. You see, at Journey, we have a definition of discipleship that really we stole from Jim Putman at Real Life Ministries, who stole it from Jesus in Matthew 4:19. See, Jesus is standing on the beach, and he calls out to young men who are fishing, and he says these words that lots of us are familiar with. Follow me, and I will make you fishers of men. You see, in those 11 words, we get some pretty amazing, simple, yet profound definition of discipleship that really kind of gives us a lot of direction. Follow me, and I will make you into fishers of men. You see, at Journey, we ask our friends, our families, and as a part of the church, we ask them to simply follow these three questions through their life. Are you a follower of Jesus? Are you being formed by Jesus? And are you faithful to the mission of Jesus? So we ask them those questions in a lot of ways. Are you already a follower of Jesus? And I'm not talking about being a fan of Jesus. And I'm not talking about having information about Jesus. But are you actively following Jesus? And then what are you doing to be formed by Jesus? Are you spending time in his word? Are you a part of a functional community life that will help encourage you and help you be formed in the image of Jesus? And then to what extent are you being faithful to the mission of Jesus? To what extent is your faith tangible? Really, it's pretty amazing stuff. It's so simple. But can I point something out? There's a lot of tension in the church today, isn't there? Tension about whether the church should be attractional, or whether the church should be communal, or whether the church should be missional, whether the church should be about gathering a large crowd into groups of people and trying to, in some ways, motivate people to move closer into relationship with God and live their lives differently in a large context crowd. Or maybe the church should be all about small groups and putting people into circles instead of lines and helping people connect into community. Or maybe the church should be much more about serving the needs of other people and expressing our faith in a tangible way. Whether the church should be attractional or missional or communal, the reality is I would submit that any of these three are invalid without the presence of the other two. Think about it for a minute. Wouldn't it be best to get people into an attractional community where there's a large gathering of people and it's safe and non-threatening in a lot of ways, and help them take their first steps towards a journey towards Jesus, and then get them connected into a community presence where they can be nurtured and loved and be formed into the mission, into the mold that Jesus would have them to fit, and then ultimately place them into places where they can serve and be tangible, whether it's in a small group or serving at a soup kitchen or loving people or serving their neighbor. You see, have you ever typed out those words, attractional and missional? Have you ever noticed how in your computer they get underlined all the time? Can I submit something to you? It's because they're not words. Get this. If we made disciples, guys, we wouldn't have to make up words. You see, I'm not saying that everybody has to do discipleship the way I do discipleship. I'm not saying everybody has to use the same programs or the same words or read the same books. I'm just simply saying the same thing that Howard Hendricks said 20-something years ago. If you don't have a target, you'll hit it every time. Have a great day at the Nines.